Lewis Hall's reaction after Chelsea's transfer to Newcastle confirmed. The teenager joined the Magpies last summer on an initial loan deal, which included an obligation to make the deal permanent provided conditions were met, which they fulfilled at the end of last season. Newcastle have paid around £28 million for the 19-year-old. Hall had to be patient last season, making just 9 Premier League appearances before the end of March, but he played a key role in the latter stages of the season and is delighted to have now signed a long-term contract on Tyneside. Hall said, "I am very proud to be able to build on last season and continue my journey at Newcastle United. The fans, the manager and his staff, my teammates and everyone at the club have made me feel so welcome that I want to repay the trust they have shown in me." When you put on the black and white jersey, there is no feeling like it, and playing in front of the best supporters in the country is something very special for me as a Toon fan. I gained a lot of experience last season, and with the squad we have, we will try to continue to go further this season. I can't wait to get started. Eddie Howe said, "Lewis was an excellent addition to our squad last season, and we are delighted with his progress and contribution to the team. I'm very excited to be able to continue working with him. As well as being a talented player, he has a great attitude towards the game and his own development, and I'm very excited about the next part of his journey in a Newcastle United shirt." Jude Bellingham has spoken about Chelsea star Cole Palmer. Bellingham was quick to praise Palmer for his contribution. Understandably, everyone would praise Bellingham for his heroism. England were almost knocked out of the European Championship before his stunning goal. However, the 21-year-old felt that England would not have won the match without Palmer and the rest of the Three Lions substitutes on the day. Speaking to ITV after the match, Bellingham said, "Look who's come in there. We have won this game together. Not me, not Harry Kane, not individual moments where, you look back on it maybe in a few years' time and talk about that game. There are players like Ivan Toney, Eberechi Eze, Cole Palmer, and I can name other names who will appear." Mamardashvili tells Chelsea and Liverpool how they can sign him. The Georgia goalkeeper was one of the standout performers at Euro 2024, leading his country to the knockout stages of their first major tournament before defeat against Spain on Sunday night. Many clubs are already interested in the Valencia man, but Mamardashvili's exploits have increased speculation over his future, and his move is expected to cost around £35 million. Chelsea and Liverpool were mentioned in the latest reports surrounding the 23-year-old, along with Newcastle and Bayern Munich. However, he insisted, after Georgia's exit from the Euros, that acting as a replacement for Manuel Neuer was not on his agenda for next season. Mamardashvili told Sky Sports in Germany, "Bayern still have the best goalkeeper in the world. Therefore, at the moment it is impossible to move there. I will only go there if I play. If I don't play, then no." Giorgi Mamardashvili has warned potential buyers that he will not accept a summer transfer to sit on the bench. Liverpool have Alisson Becker under contract until 2027. New Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca has Robert Sanchez and Georgi Petrovic available as potential goalkeepers for next season, along with returning Real Madrid loanee Kepa Arrizabalaga. However, that may not rule out the possibility of bringing in a new goalkeeper if they find a candidate who fits their current preferences. Meanwhile, Newcastle have just completed the recruitment of Greek goalkeeper Odysseas Vlachodimos to compete with Nick Pope and Martin Dubravka. Kieran DEWSBURY-HALL's move from Leicester City to Chelsea is now complete. Those are the words of Fabrizio Romano, who has just stated that the midfielder's new contract at Stamford Bridge is in place and his medical tests have been completed. Therefore, what is still missing is official confirmation from the two clubs. DEWSBURY-HALL's transfer is one that Leicester City could look forward to on their return to the Premier League, as it was his standout performances that boosted their promotion hopes. Manager Enzo Maresca's departure to Chelsea was the second last domino to fall. Now the Italian coach has finally visited Leicester again to snatch the 25-year-old player. The Foxes will pocket £30 million from the deal, a deal that is not entirely in their hands due to the push to comply with the Profitability and Sustainability Rules (PSR) which has boosted the club's business earlier in the summer. Although the PSR deadline for the 2023-2024 campaign has now passed, this deal could still fall within the accounting period, as the agreement was reached on Sunday, which is not a working day. Apart from that, the completion of this direct purchase occurred after many Chelsea players reportedly made player exchange agreements for Cash Plus. Instead, young talent Michael Golding will join Steve Cooper's team in a separate deal worth £5 million. Alexander Isak is one of the strikers who seems to be on Chelsea's radar. It is claimed that the Blues are even willing to give up Newcastle's Nicholas Jackson in their bid to land the Sweden international. He excelled for the Magpies last season, scoring 25 goals in 40 appearances, which explains Chelsea's interest. However, it seems they are also admirers of one of their teammates. Chelsea are interested in teammate Alexander Isak. Apart from a striker, Chelsea also appear to be interested in bringing in another winger. According to journalist Simon Phillips, they have spoken to Newcastle about Anthony Gordon. On Substack, Phillips wrote, "Chelsea have been looking to try and sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle, but offering Jackson is not one of them. The Blues have been in talks with the Toon owners regarding Isak and Anthony Gordon. However, as of Sunday morning, there has been no progress on either player." During his time at Everton, Frank Lampard stated that Gordon was worth at least £100 million. Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly in pole position to sign Leeds United midfielder Archie Gray this summer. The youngster was heavily linked with Chelsea earlier this month, and they are considered the favourites to land him. However, the price tag made them give up their plans. Brentford recently agreed to pay £34 million for the teenager, but the terms were unacceptable. Leeds have now agreed a deal with Spurs for the 18-year-old, who can play as a defensive midfielder or from a right-back role. Gray is considered one of the best talents in the Championship. He played an important role in Leeds' success in reaching the playoff final. The Whites failed to get past the final hurdle against Southampton. They are now forced to sell it for financial reasons. Despite this, Leeds will remain one of the favourites to secure promotion from the Championship in the coming season. Meanwhile, Gray has the opportunity to prove himself as a Premier League player, having made his mark in the second division. Everton now strong contenders to sign Broja. Armando Broja is one of the fringe players at Stamford Bridge who is likely to leave this summer. Everton are strong contenders to sign striker Armando Broja from Chelsea this summer. Chelsea are close to completing a deal for Leicester City midfielder Kieran DEWSBURY-HALL worth £30 million, and they have been one of the more active clubs in the early weeks of the transfer window. However, they still hope to raise funds through player sales this summer, and Broja is one of the names most likely to leave. Despite signing a long-term contract in 2022 to extend his stay at Stamford Bridge until 2027, Broja, described as a complete striker by Jacek Kulig, has since struggled to nail down a place at Chelsea. He spent the second half of last season on loan at Fulham and is likely to be one of the fringe players released by the club this summer. According to Jacob Steinberg of The Guardian, Chelsea hope to raise funds with the sale of Broja. Everton are said to be strong contenders for the Albanian forward, but they face competition from other clubs. Broja, who could cost the Toffees up to £35 million, joined Chelsea as a youth player and had loan spells at Vitesse and Southampton before breaking into the first team 2 years ago. Although Chelsea lack clinical and reliable strikers, the striker has not been able to establish a starting place among the likes of Nicholas Jackson, which led to him being loaned out last season. The Red Devils have signalled their intention to move Sancho this summer, and Ratcliffe is said to have invited Premier League trio Manchester City, Arsenal and Chelsea to make an approach for the winger. According to Team Talk, Man United's attempts to offload Sancho have reportedly been dealt a blow as Chelsea chose not to sign the Englishman. The Red Devils are said to be so keen to part with Sancho that they lowered their asking price for the winger to £40 million. But Chelsea rejected their approach, as they already have plenty of players up front with the likes of Raheem Sterling, Mykhailo Mudryk, Noni Madueke, and all-round star Cole Palmer. Meanwhile, a separate report from the Evening Standard claims that Arsenal have also turned down the opportunity to sign Sancho, partly because of his high wages, which are thought to be around £250,000 a week. The Gunners are looking to strengthen their attacking options this summer, but they are believed to be prioritizing adding a new center forward over signing a new winger for now.